One of the hardest regrets people face when their spouse passes away is realizing they were unprepared, both emotionally and financially, for the reality of loss. While death is inevitable, many couples avoid discussing or planning for it, thinking it is too painful or that it will happen far in the future. As a result, when loss comes, the surviving spouse often feels overwhelmed, not just by grief, but also by confusion, stress, and a lack of stability. Emotional preparation means acknowledging that life is fragile and cherishing every moment with intention. Many people regret not preparing themselves to say goodbye, not expressing enough love, or not building the inner strength to face life alone. They often wish they had been more open about their fears, more vocal about their gratitude, and more present in their marriage. Without this preparation, grief can feel heavier, filled with guilt and unanswered questions, instead of peace and acceptance. Financial preparation is equally critical. After losing a spouse, many individuals struggle with unexpected burdens, debts, lack of savings, unclear assets, or no plan for ongoing expenses. This financial stress compounds the emotional pain, leaving the surviving spouse not only heartbroken but also uncertain about their future security. Regret often comes in the form of wishing they had created a financial plan together, set aside emergency savings, or discussed how to manage responsibilities in the event of loss. To avoid this regret, couples must face the uncomfortable truth with courage. On the emotional side, this means having honest conversations about life, death, and what truly matters, so that love is fully expressed and no important words are left unsaid. On the financial side, it means taking practical steps such as setting up life insurance, writing wills, organizing accounts, and making sure both partners understand their financial situation. These actions don't invite tragedy, they provide peace of mind and protect the future. Preparation also includes building a support system. Couples who encourage strong family bonds, friendships, and community connections create a safety net for the surviving partner. Knowing that there is love and support beyond the marriage can ease the loneliness that follows loss. Ultimately, preparing emotionally and financially is an act of love. It allows both partners to face life with security, peace, and confidence that, no matter what happens, they have honored their bond. By planning ahead, couples can ensure that when loss comes, they are left with cherished memories and stability, not heavy regrets. One of the most painful regrets people feel after their spouse passes away is realizing they both took health for granted. In the early years of a relationship, couples often assume there will always be more time, more energy, and more years to enjoy together. But as life moves forward, health becomes the foundation on which everything else rests. Without it, even the simplest dreams, like walking in the park, traveling, or enjoying family gatherings, become difficult or impossible. When a spouse's health declines or they pass away too soon, the surviving partner often wishes they had paid more attention to caring for each other's well-being. Many couples unintentionally neglect health in pursuit of work, responsibilities, or routines. Late nights, poor eating habits, lack of exercise, and high stress become normal parts of life. Sometimes one partner encourages these habits, while the other overlooks them, thinking it's not urgent. Only after illness strikes or loss occurs does the realization sink in: health should have been the greatest priority all along. Taking health seriously doesn't just mean avoiding illness, it means creating a lifestyle that allows both partners to live fully. Couples who exercise together, cook nutritious meals, and encourage regular checkups not only extend their years but also improve the quality of their relationship. Small habits, like going for daily walks, preparing healthy meals, or reminding each other to rest, can strengthen both physical well-being and emotional connection. On the other hand, ignoring these aspects often leads to regrets like, if only we had taken better care of ourselves, we could have had more time together. Beyond physical health, emotional and mental well-being are equally important. Stress, overwork, and unspoken worries take a toll on both partners. Couples who fail to check in emotionally may find themselves drifting apart, even while living under the same roof. Supporting each other's mental health, by listening, showing empathy, and encouraging relaxation, is a vital part of a strong relationship. To avoid this regret, couples should treat health as a shared responsibility, not an individual one. Making mindful choices together, like scheduling medical checkups, encouraging better habits, and balancing work with rest, creates a partnership that values longevity and vitality. Ultimately, health is the foundation of love's longevity. Without it, time together becomes uncertain. By taking care of each other's well-being, couples give themselves the greatest gift possible: more days, more memories, and more life lived together without the shadow of preventable regrets. One of the most common regrets people face after losing a spouse is realizing they never had the important conversations about life, death, and the future. Many couples avoid these topics because they feel uncomfortable, painful, or too far away to discuss. They focus on day-to-day living and assume there will always be more time to talk about what truly matters. But when loss comes unexpectedly, the surviving spouse is left with unanswered questions, unresolved feelings, and a heavy sense of unfinished business. Important conversations go beyond finances or legal documents. They include expressions of love, values, hopes, and fears. Many people regret not asking their spouse deeper questions. What are your biggest dreams? What do you want to be remembered for? How do you want to be cared for if you're ever ill? These are not just practical matters but emotional ones, creating understanding and closeness. Without them, a partner may feel lost, unsure of their loved one's wishes, or burdened by the weight of decisions they never got to discuss. Couples often avoid these conversations because they fear they might bring sadness or seem like they are inviting death. Yet, in reality, having these talks strengthens a relationship. It builds trust, removes uncertainty, and creates peace of mind. Knowing your spouse's wishes allows you to honor them with love, rather than guessing in the midst of grief. These conversations are also about emotional closure. Telling each other how much you mean, forgiving past mistakes, and sharing your gratitude are priceless acts of love. Too often, people wait for the right time to say these things, only to find the opportunity has slipped away forever. Regret then becomes a painful companion, because the words left unspoken are often the ones that matter most. To avoid this regret, couples should gently and intentionally create space for open, honest dialogue. It doesn't have to be one heavy talk, it can be ongoing, compassionate conversations woven into life. Talking about your future, your health, and your values can feel vulnerable, but it is also one of the greatest gifts you can give each other. In the end, silence breeds regret, but honest conversation creates connection and peace. By facing life and death together with courage, couples can ensure that when the time comes, love has been fully expressed, wishes have been honored, and nothing important has been left unsaid. One of the deepest regrets many people face after losing a spouse is realizing they spent too much of their lives focused on work, routines, and daily responsibilities, while giving too little attention to love and connection. In the rush of life, it's easy to fall into patterns: going to work, managing bills, taking care of chores, and following schedules. These tasks may feel necessary, but when they dominate a marriage, they can crowd out the very moments that make life meaningful. When a spouse is gone, the surviving partner often wishes they had put less energy into making a living and more into truly living with the person they loved. Work and routines are important, but they should never replace affection, companionship, and shared experiences. Many couples believe they are working hard for a better future together, for financial security, a nicer home, or a comfortable retirement. Yet in the pursuit of these long-term goals, they unintentionally sacrifice the present. The tragedy is that life does not guarantee tomorrow. All the plans for later may be left unfinished, while the memories that could have been made today are lost forever. What hurts most after loss are not the missed work deadlines or undone chores, it's the missed dinners, the unshared laughter, and the moments that were replaced with busyness. Spouses often regret not pausing to simply hold hands, talk about their day, or enjoy spontaneous time together. These small gestures of love are the true foundation of a happy life, and once the opportunity is gone, it cannot be reclaimed. To avoid this regret, couples need to make conscious choices about balance. Work and responsibilities will always be there, but love requires intention. This means setting boundaries with work, learning to say no to unnecessary obligations, and prioritizing quality time together. even simple rituals. Like eating meals at the same table without distractions, going for evening walks, or sharing bedtime conversations, help shift focus from routine to connection. Love must never be treated as something secondary to real life. In truth, love is real life. Careers end, routines change, and responsibilities shift, but the bond with a spouse is what gives life joy and meaning. By choosing to place love above routine, couples create a life rich in memories and affection, ensuring that when loss comes, their hearts will be full of moments shared, not regrets over time wasted. A painful regret many people experience after their spouse passes away is realizing they never fully pursued the dreams and plans they had together. Couples often talk about someday dreams, traveling to a special place, starting a small business, moving to a peaceful town, or even something as simple as redecorating the house or planting a garden. These ideas bring excitement and a sense of unity, but too often they remain postponed because of work, finances, or the assumption that there will always be more time. When one partner dies unexpectedly, the surviving spouse is left with unfulfilled dreams and the sorrow of wondering what could have been. Shared dreams are not just goals, they are a vital part of a relationship. They give couples something to look forward to, strengthening the bond by creating hope and a shared vision for the future. Even small plans, like learning a new hobby together or taking weekend trips, can bring joy and deepen connection. When these dreams are ignored or pushed aside indefinitely, life becomes filled with routines and responsibilities but lacks the adventure and meaning that couples once envisioned together. One of the biggest reasons couples fail to pursue their shared dreams is the belief that the right time will eventually come. They think retirement, more money, or fewer responsibilities will finally allow them to enjoy life together. Sadly, life is unpredictable. Health issues, financial struggles, or sudden loss can disrupt those plans forever. Many widows and widowers reflect with deep sadness on how they waited too long and never gave themselves permission to live their dreams while they still could. To avoid this regret, it's important to bring dreams into the present, even in small ways. Not every dream requires large sums of money or years of preparation. For example, if you dream of traveling the world, start with a nearby city or country. If you wanted to write a book together, begin with small chapters or stories. If you've talked about a peaceful retirement home, start creating that peaceful space in your current house. Making progress on shared goals keeps the relationship vibrant and ensures you are actively building memories instead of postponing them. In the end, the joy of a relationship comes not just from loving each other in the present but also from creating a shared journey. By honoring and pursuing dreams together now, couples can fill their lives with meaningful experiences that leave no room for the haunting question, what if we had only tried? One of the most heartbreaking regrets people face after losing a spouse is remembering the arguments that were never resolved and the grudges that lasted too long. In every relationship, disagreements are natural. Two people with different personalities, opinions, and habits are bound to clash. But the real damage doesn't come from the conflict itself, it comes from the unwillingness to let go, forgive, and move forward. When one partner passes away, unresolved conflicts often echo in the mind, leaving the surviving spouse with guilt and a heavy heart. Many couples fall into the trap of pride during arguments, waiting for the other person to apologize first or refusing to soften their stance. While this might feel justified in the heat of the moment, it creates emotional distance and sometimes days, or even weeks, of silence. When a spouse dies, these periods of unnecessary distance become some of the most painful memories, because they represent lost time that could have been filled with love, laughter, or togetherness. Forgiveness in marriage is not about ignoring problems or pretending they don't exist. It's about recognizing that the bond you share is more important than being right in an argument. Choosing forgiveness doesn't mean giving up your perspective, but rather prioritizing peace and love over resentment. In truth, most disagreements that cause tension in relationships are small compared to the depth of a lifelong partnership. Once loss occurs, people realize how trivial many of those arguments truly were. To avoid this regret, couples must learn to practice humility and patience in their conflicts. Instead of letting pride dictate the response, try to remember the fragility of life and the value of your partner's presence. Apologize quickly when you're wrong, and when you're hurt, express it honestly but with love instead of anger. Small gestures of reconciliation, a hug, a kind word, or a simple "I'm sorry," can prevent minor disagreements from turning into emotional scars. Life is too short to let anger linger. Every day spent holding a grudge is a day wasted in silence that could have been filled with affection and understanding. When couples learn to forgive quickly and prioritize their love over their differences, they ensure that no unresolved bitterness clouds the memories they will one day look back on. In the end, forgiveness gives peace not just to the relationship, but also to the heart that remains after loss. Another deep regret people face after losing a spouse is realizing they didn't spend enough meaningful time together. In today's busy world, it's easy to get caught up in work, family responsibilities, financial pressures, and personal distractions. Couples often tell themselves, "We'll take that trip next year," or "We'll have more time when things settle down." Unfortunately, life is unpredictable, and sometimes later never comes. When a spouse passes away, the empty chair at the dinner table becomes a painful reminder of all the walks not taken, the conversations never had, and the laughter that was postponed for tomorrow. Quality time isn't about the length of hours spent together, it's about the depth of connection in those moments. Watching a movie side by side without interaction doesn't create the same bond as sharing a heartfelt conversation, cooking together, or even enjoying a simple cup of tea while talking about the day. True connection happens when both partners are present, attentive, and engaged. These moments build lasting memories that bring comfort after loss, rather than regret. One of the biggest mistakes couples make is assuming that love will thrive automatically without effort. But love is like a living thing, it needs attention and nurturing. When partners constantly prioritize work, chores, or digital distractions over each other, they unintentionally create distance. Later in life, people often regret not slowing down enough to truly enjoy their spouse's presence. The things that seemed urgent at the time, emails, deadlines, or household tasks, fade into insignificance compared to the value of shared moments of joy, laughter, and companionship. Avoiding this regret requires intentional choices. Make it a habit to carve out time for just the two of you, no matter how busy life gets. This could mean setting aside one evening a week for a date night, taking short weekend getaways, or simply dedicating 30 minutes each day to talk without distractions. Even small rituals, like morning coffee together or evening walks, can create a sense of closeness that becomes priceless memories in the future. In the end, the most cherished things in life are not material possessions but the moments we share with the people we love. By valuing quality time now, couples can ensure they won't be left with the painful regret of wishing for just one more day. One of the biggest regrets people face when their spouse passes away is realizing they didn't express enough gratitude for the everyday things their partner did. Love isn't only about the grand gestures, it is deeply rooted in the little acts of kindness that often go unnoticed. From preparing meals, managing the household, supporting through tough times, or simply being present, a spouse plays countless roles in a person's life. Unfortunately, many people assume their partner already knows how much they are valued, so they stop saying thank you or offering words of appreciation. When the person is no longer there, those unsaid words become heavy with regret. Gratitude in a relationship has the power to strengthen emotional bonds and create an atmosphere of respect and love. A simple acknowledgement such as "I appreciate you, thank you for being there," or "I couldn't have done this without you," can mean more than material gifts. These words remind your spouse that their presence and efforts matter, giving them a sense of fulfillment and belonging. Studies even show that couples who express gratitude regularly are happier, more connected, and better equipped to handle life's challenges together. When gratitude is withheld, small frustrations and unspoken disappointments can begin to overshadow the love in a relationship. Over time, people may take each other for granted, assuming the relationship doesn't require these affirmations anymore. But the truth is, every human being craves acknowledgement, especially from the person they love most. Neglecting to express appreciation often leads to emotional distance, and the real tragedy is that recognition comes only after loss, when it's too late. Avoiding this regret requires intentional effort. Make gratitude a daily practice rather than an occasional expression. Compliment your spouse on the little things. How they smile, their patience, their hard work, or simply their companionship. Leave notes of appreciation, send a kind message during the day, or speak words of love before going to bed. These small actions build a bank of positive memories and affirmations that both partners can hold on to, no matter what happens in the future. Ultimately, gratitude is not about rehearsed words, it's about truly noticing and cherishing the gift of having someone by your side. If expressed daily, it leaves no room for regret, only peace and fond memories when that inevitable goodbye arrives.